Here's Paddy Power's new and exclusive Kicker feature. Simply place a bet, add a kicker, and if your team wins big, you'll win bigger. 18 plus, gambleaware.co.uk. T&Cs apply.
Hi there, Bruce Millington, Mark Langdon, Ian Wilkerson and Paddy Powers, Ed Quigley. Looking ahead to two Sunday live Premier League games and then an MNF fixture as well. So, loads of great football this weekend. 1:30 on Sunday, West Bromwich Albion versus Liverpool. I want to oppose Liverpool, Ed, so make them nice and short for me, please.
Yeah, so West Brom are 16-5, the draw is 27-10, and Liverpool are 17-20.
17-20. Shade of odds on. Mark, where's your money going on this one?
Very tricky game. I doubt I'll be having a bet on it, but I think if you are looking to have a bet, I'd be going for maybe a couple of the West Brom defenders from set pieces. I mean, they've got the most goals from set pieces this season, 19. That has really propelled them up to 8th in the table. I mean, ability-wise, there wouldn't be much between them and say your boys down, been fighting against relegation. But we saw against Arsenal just how much work Tony Pulis puts into the set pieces on the training ground. Liverpool are not very good at defending them. Jurgen Klopp was on Monday Night Football at the beginning of the season trying to explain how his team defend them. He talks it better than they're actually sort of learning it, and because even against Everton the other week, Everton didn't do anything in the game and still scored from a set piece. So I think you're looking at Macaulay and Dawson. You could split your stakes. If I was going for one of them, probably Dawson, but there's not much in it.
Don't need to choose, do they? They'll both be nice prices, won't they? What price are they at those two?
They're Macaulay's 25s and Dawson's 35.
And what about in sort of the anytime market there?
Anytime.
Sorry.
Is you're fine. Yeah. Garrett Macaulay's 10-1 and Dawson's 13.
Well, what you got to lose? Great.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'd split the stakes on those
both.
two.
I'll tell you, Macaulay's amazing. He's 37, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
really one of the sort of, if you were doing an underrated Premier League 11, he'd be in there, wouldn't he? He's terrific, isn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly been a grand old servant to the Baggies.
He's a great fantasy footballer, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He picks a lot of points up.
Okay, so Mark's going to go for the West Brom centre halves to score first and any time. Wilco, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I like West Brom too. As Mark's highlighted, they're big threat from set pieces, and I do I'm concerned about the quality of Liverpool's ability to deal with those. They won at Stoke, and they've got a decent record recently, but I mean, Mignolet got them out of jail with a couple of really good saves. I mean, they could easily have got turned over in that game. And West Brom have won 5 of their last 7 at home. You don't anticipate Pulis is going to ease up. He loves these big games against big teams, particularly on his own patch. I think 16-5, you'll have worse bets than that this weekend.
Straight bet on the Throssels. Okay, what about you, Ed? Ed, what's the latest injury situation as far as you're aware? Obviously, Mane's out for the season, isn't he? Lallana, Henderson, they're not coming back?
Henderson and Lallana are out this weekend as well. You'd expect Coutinho and Firmino to start. They didn't start against Stoke, and it was a massive drift on their price. They went from 8-11 out to 13-10. But I'd expect them to start this week because they obviously came on during that game and changed it up. Yeah, I'd agree. It's full house. I agree with with everybody. I thought Liverpool were lucky to get the 3 points last week. Wilco's already mentioned the performance of Mignolet. Stoke could have been it's 2-0 up as well at one stage. They missed a pretty good chance from what I remember. Yeah, and I just think Liverpool struggled badly without Mane in January, and obviously we know West Brom are quite sturdy at home. They're pretty good. So yeah, I'd probably go with West Brom double chance at 10-11. But I couldn't disagree with 16-5 or the 2 goal scorers that Mark mentioned there, who Dutch by the way are 14-1.
Blimey, that sounds decent. Okay, excellent. At 4 o'clock, Man United versus Chelsea. This is an interesting game and no mistake. And how are Paddy Power betting on it?
Yeah, so United are 13-8, the draw is 11-5, and Chelsea are 9-5.
Chelsea 9-5?
Yeah.
Blimey, that's a terrific price. I love that. What do you think will happen here, Mark?
Yeah, I like the draw. The biggest price of the 3. I thought it was as big a runner as any of the others. I mean, obviously United have been held back by draws, particularly at home. This season under Jose Mourinho, but I don't think they're as far away from being a successful side as maybe what the league table suggests. Because a lot of them.
What do they need?
A little bit of luck, because I think that they, 4 or 5 of them home games could quite easily have been won, and we wouldn't have been quibbling, like Burnley and results like that.
This has been their unluckiest season. Now, I know that's not saying much, is it?
yeah.
But it definitely has, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so I think they're missing that. I mean, I expect sort of once Mkhitaryan, he didn't play at the start of the season. I think maybe somebody to play on the left-hand side, because he doesn't like Martial. Rashford, I think he's better as a sub. So I mean that they're lacking a little bit there, maybe. But I don't think that they're too far away. The Europa League as well wouldn't have helped this season. The marathon campaign. They're unbeaten in the Premier League since October the 23rd, which
That's
is
amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
Incredible.
Of course, that defeat was against Chelsea, who also beat them in the FA Cup. But that obviously turned on the red card there. I don't think United, though, are good enough to beat a Chelsea team that would quite happily take a point. And sort of they just got to manage this next little period. They've got United, they've got Southampton coming up. They've also got a trip to Everton. As long as they're in front after that, it looks like game over. So
their last 3 games, I've said about West Brom, who are going to play there, and they've got 2 of their last 3 games are at home to Middlesbrough and Sunderland.
Yeah, so they've just. But I think Conte is pragmatic enough to just manage this situation. If it's a draw with 20 minutes to go, there's no need for them to go and force the issue, particularly. So
the United run-in's a shocker, isn't it? They've got it really tough, haven't they? Go to Tottenham, go to Arsenal. They've got City and they've got Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously their best chances to. We're speaking before that Europa League game, but their best chance of getting into the Champions League is via winning the Europa League. Now, no doubt about that. At the same time, I wouldn't believe that they would sort of put a weakened team out against Chelsea for a whole host of reasons.
But also, Mark, their weakened team, they've got kind of 18 or 20 players all so similar that you could play 2 different.
Yeah, I suppose when you're saying weakened, you're just saying Pogba and Ibrahimovic, aren't you? So
playing them.
Yeah, I mean, as long as what I'm saying, I don't think it'll rest the big guns.
Okay, Mark makes a very good case for the draw. Wilco, what do you think?
I'm with you. I like Chelsea. I think they're a cracking price at 9-5. They're the last team to beat United in the league, and I think maybe United will be shown up for a team that can't break teams down and think. Chelsea aren't going to sit on the edge of the box like lots of the teams that have gone to United. They're going to look and they're going to punish them. I can't put much faith in a team that is at home to someone so far ahead in the league who have won fewer home games this season than Hull City. I can't have United. I think Chelsea are well drilled. They're a great organised team. Their away record is great since that defeat at Arsenal, which will go down as the day that they won the title, I think. They've lost at Spurs and they've drawn at Liverpool and Burnley and they've won the rest. 9-5 is a cracking price for me.
What do you think, Ed?
I agree with everything Mark said there a minute ago. I think the draw as well. Like the words I have here are what he mentioned. Like basically Conte pragmatic. Chelsea look to consolidate their lead and just take the point. And like United, I suppose, are the draw specialists. And I'd agree with it. I think United are. I saw a stat there during the week. I think Man United have had the most shots on target at home. Like it's phenomenal that they haven't won more games, but they are the draw specialists. And yeah, I fancy the draw.
Righty-ho, at 8 o'clock on Monday night, Middlesbrough, the fag end of their relegation campaign against Arsenal. 2 teams in absolute, not turmoil, but just kind of moribund misery, I suppose. If the match, they should really run out to a Morrissey song here, shouldn't they, I think? Every day is like Sunday, one of those really melancholy tunes. It will be the most miserable fixture ever. The tunnel, they'll just be moping around, won't they? And it'll be absolutely, I don't know. But there's got to be some decent bets to be had. So what are the match prices first, Ed, before we get what the lads think?
Middlesbrough 11-2, the draw is 31-10, and Arsenal are 8-15.
What do we do here, Mark? Blimey.
I can't back Arsenal after that second half, but I didn't think the first half was too bad against Crystal Palace. The second half was horrendous. When if the players really believe in the manager, they're not going about it the right way. Their midfield is just not working whatsoever. I mean, Xhaka's been called out and he hasn't had a good time of it. But the people he's been playing alongside have been awful. I can't remember the last time Ozil did anything worthwhile. Sanchez, he's trying, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he's trying in bits and bobs anyway. Probably not to the same standard he was earlier on in the campaign. Defensively, they look like they're going to concede goals. I'm not one to trust Middlesbrough massively, but I'd rather back Middlesbrough than Arsenal here. Middlesbrough gave Arsenal a very good game in the reverse fixture at the Emirates. Even against United recently at home, they were pretty spirited. They're going down, but I think I'd rather back them than Arsenal. I mean, I just don't. I'd struggle to back a team 8 to 15 away from home that's playing the way Arsenal are at the moment.
Okay, so probably no bet, but if forced a little bit on Borough, maybe no bet.
Yeah, no. I mean, because it's one of those games where if Arsenal do turn up, then it could end up being 3 or 4. So that's why I wouldn't even go down the handicap route. I just think if Arsenal continue on this same kind of downward spiral, I'd just back Middlesbrough.
All right, what would you be doing here, Wilco?
I can't have Arsenal at 8 to 15 after the way they played on Monday against anybody really. Although I'm wondering when someone's actually going to tell Borough that they're going to get relegated, because they seem content and not really. I spoke earlier about the way Bournemouth have approached the season and gone for it, and played good football, had a right go. You get in the top flight. That's what you got to do. You got to try and stay up. You got to try and look back in June and think, well, we weren't good enough, but we gave it a right go. And I don't know whether these Borough players can do that. They've scored more than one goal in just one league game since December the 17th. So Arsenal, no spark up front, look lost, outplayed by your boys on Monday. Evans under 2.5 goals in a game that I'd anticipate. Evans for under 2.5 goals, I think, is a decent price.
I'd have that all day long. Evans sounds like a very good bet. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, I suppose I agree with what a lot of both the lads said there. I suppose both teams kind of need to go for it. I agree with what Wilco said there, though. Like we said this 2 weeks ago about Middlesbrough when they were playing Swansea, and like they were shocking against Swansea. It was like they were trying to consolidate a draw, even though they really needed to go for it. But it is last chance saloon in terms of Middlesbrough and relegation, and Arsenal top 4 chances. Arsenal's last away win was in January against Swansea. Since then they've lost Chelsea, Liverpool, West Brom and Palace. Borough haven't won at home since December. Like they're the 2 most out of form teams in the league. It is very tricky to call, I think, at the prices. I wouldn't, and as both the lads said, I wouldn't be putting a shilling on anything Arsenal related. I'm just going to go tentatively for both teams to score, which I know flies in the face of what Wilco just said there, probably somewhat anyway, with the under 2.5. I just think Arsenal have kept only 2 clean sheets away all season, and Borough, I know Borough don't score, but the loss of Koscielny, Ospina and Cech, coupled with the fact that Borough have to at least try surely at this stage, that you'd expect Arsenal to score, so you're getting 5 to 6 pretty much a Middlesbrough
5 to 6 the BTTS. Okay, excellent. Mark, what are you going to be doing? How many games do you think you'll be watching between now and Monday night?
Well, yeah, because we've got the Friday, haven't we, as well? There'll be a lot, actually.
And the Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, well, for Europa League, I mean, you can only really watch one.
Has Carly got plans for you this weekend?
Well, no, I've got the weekend off. I've got to take the kids to a birthday party on Saturday. I'm hoping to drop and then go to a pub and watch Tottenham Bournemouth and then pick up again. I think the times are going to work perfectly for that.
Isn't Littleton too young to drop, or will it be all right?
No, that'll be all right.
Yeah.
What, 10, probably at least 10. I would have thought
10 games.
At least.
Brilliant. What about you, Wilco? What have you got lined up this week? Are you grafting or are you off?
Tomorrow I'm off to my 68th ground. I'm going to the Ricoh Arena to watch Charlton at Coventry.
Oh, lovely.
I used to go to college in Coventry, and lived across the road from Highfield Road, so they've got a bit of a soft spot in my heart, so I'm taking Molly up there.
Nice.
And
she's been a naughty girl again. She's Charlton away.
Yeah, she's desperate to. She wants to see if the pies are better at Coventry than they were at Peterborough. She was very disappointed.
And then is Mrs W cooking for you at all over the weekend?
No, I'm in the office. I'm doing a weekend in, so I'll be sat there slaving away and watching as much football as I possibly can.
And what about you, Ed? What's the weekend hold for you?
Well, I'm working for most of it. I'm going to try and get out for a few beers tomorrow night, but we ban booze. All the pubs close here on Good Friday.
Yeah, I was going to say Good Friday. So you struggle to get a drink.
Yeah, well, they're actually changing that law. I think next year. Thankfully, it's catching up with the times. But you can still get booze in a hotel or something like that. So I'll figure it out somehow. I'll go to the offie tonight.
Okay, mate. Well, good luck with that. I'm taking my little Daisy to Palace versus Leicester. Very much
Oh, great.
looking forward to that. Okay, thank you very much indeed for listening. We're back next Thursday with another Racing Post football postcast.
Check out Paddy Power's new and exclusive Cash Card Plus, available to use online, at ATMs, or even down the local. Paddy Power, you beauty!